Today, we making tonkatsu. First with the panko. To make the breadcrumbs for this fried pork cutlet, simply slice off the crust of any white bread, give it a pulse, and bam, breadcrumbs. Then you're going to need any lean, tender pork, and don't forget your meat hammer. With the smooth, non-textured side of a meat mallet in your meat bag, pound out the pork cutlet. It doesn't need to be like schnitzel status thin, but like make it decently thin. Alright, now line up your potato starch, some eggs, and your panko side by side. This is called the dry, wet, dry breading station. Designate one hand for the dry ingredients and one for the wet so you can keep things clean. And that's a party cutlet. Set up a little frying station with some high heat oil. Fry at 350, 375. And don't forget to splash hot oil all over yourself on camera. Gently and carefully place your soon-to-be crispy boys in the frying oil until golden brown. Don't forget to season. Now slice it up. I'm serving this with a little bit of cabbage slaw and some store-bought katsu sauce. And if you have a demon, don't forget to give old demon a taste. And munch away.
So today I'm making some fried chocolate dumplings. You'll need some chocolate and gyoza wrappers. I added some water on the top half. So you can use any technique to wrap the dumplings, but here I'm just using a fork to wrap it up. And for this one, I'm adding a piece of marshmallows and chocolate. And they look like this. Then move on to the frying part. I added a thin layer of oil to fry them. You can take it out when it's golden brown. I added some cocoa powder and some powdered sugar. And there you have it, fried chocolate dumplings. Enjoy!
First things first, we're gonna get ourselves a big ass bowl and crack an egg in there, a little bit of milk, give that a mix, and just let that vibe on the side. Damn, this video is kind of going fast. In a separate bowl, we're gonna add flour, baking powder, salt, crushed red peppers, and Italian seasoning, and we're gonna combine the two bowls to make a, I don't even know what you would call this. Is this considered a dough? Anyways, we're gonna cut up some pepperoni. Personally, I cut mine into quarters, but you can do whatever you want. Moving on, we're gonna add two different types of cheese, which is just mozzarella and parmesan, and you're gonna end up with something like this. It kind of looks like chunky baby food right now, but that's because we're not done. We're gonna scoop the mixture into a cupcake pan, about 50% of the way. Add some more ronis on top and throw them in the oven at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes or so. Oh, and the crowd goes wild. Throw on some parsley, and that's pretty much it. Now you can eat this with a side of marinara, or you can eat it dry. These remind me of the ones that my mom used to make for me when I was a kid. Psych, she never made me this. When I was a kid, all I ever ate was mama ramen noodles. Don't let the straw hat fool you, she's evil.
French toast, and I got a surprise for y'all later in the video. We're gonna start with white bread, preferably stale old bread. It makes it better for French toast. Go in for the dip, eggs, cinnamon, sugar, vanilla extract, milk, whisk it up, set that to the side, slices of bread, go ahead and chop it up, or you could do whole bread, but I like slicing up because you could toast it on all four sides and more crunchies, you already know. Go ahead and dip in the little pieces in there, go over to the stove top, pan, whatever. Butter, wait till it gets bubbly, medium high heat, add on the pieces of bread, and then you already know once it gets a little crispy, flip them over, and then this is why you want to slice it, so that you can do it on the sides like that, and then you got both sides of crispiness. Butter, powdered sugar, syrup, do whatever fluff you want to do. Now you're gonna get a bun, another piece of bun. I don't know why I use hamburger buns, but I use it. It worked better anyways because those are stale, so you can go make a PB&J and then dip the insides in the extra mixture you got for the French toast and just go back on the pan. You got PB&J French toast, little powdered sugar. Stop playing with me.
Hi guys. Okay, so I heard that you can make mochi at home if you have a stand mixer, so obviously I needed to try it. I started by cooking the glutinous rice with an Instant Pot, don't at me, and used the dough hook on my stand mixer for about 12 minutes and then switched to the paddle mixer for like another 5 minutes. Traditionally this is made by pounding the rice over and over again, but this is kind of like doing that at home. And it actually looked like mochi, but the stuff was super sticky. I had to use a bunch of cornstarch to make sure it wouldn't stick together, but I think I used a little too much because it got kind of crusty. But seriously, the stuff is so sticky, so I don't know if I could have done it without using this much cornstarch. But anyways, I think this method totally worked. This absolutely looks and feels like mochi. I filled mine with fresh strawberries and red bean paste, which is such a great combination. I think I did an okay job filling them. The cornstarch made it a little hard for them to stick together when making the balls, but overall I did okay. They were a little chunky, but definitely mochi. If you want to try this at home, I totally recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Just be prepared to clean your dishes for a really long time. Bye.
Yesterday I did roast salmon, today I'm going to do roast chump of lamb. Again, I like to put it in a pan with a little bit of olive oil on low to render the fat. Don't forget to season it quite heavily, it's a big chunk of meat this. I'm going to start off real slow and just slowly render that fat. Look how low the flame is here. Then after about 20 minutes, give it a turn and do the same again. Probably put it onto a medium heat, but you can hear it crackling. Keep basting. When you think it's nearly there, drop in some thyme, bay leaf and garlic. Keep basting. Then I'm going to give it a rest for about 20 minutes, and then when I'm ready to go on it, I'm going to put it back in the pan with the herbs and the rest of it. Give it a roll around to warm it through. Then when it's ready, give it a carve. Look how pink this is. Look beautiful. Lamb doesn't want to be too pink, but nice rosé pink. Give it a slice, put it on the plate, season it, splash of olive oil, and that's it. I serve this with roast vegetables, carrots, onions and potatoes for my Sunday lunch. Hope everyone enjoys. You want to keep your eye out for the chump of lamb. It's nice and cheap, it's off the leg.